What is going on, everyone? Free agency has begun, and it has not been boring for the Houston Texans. The big moves that this team made, trading away five-time Pro Bowl left tackle Laramie Tunsil to the Washington Commanders, you now have a glaring hole at the left tackle spot. The second big move, bringing in standout safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles and only giving up Kenyon Green and a late-round draft pick. Two big moves, one on offense, one on defense. Now, the Houston Texans have also made other moves, and we are going to discuss them next. But before we do, I want your guys' opinions. How do you think General Manager Nick Caserio has done during this free agency period? Drop me a grade down below and drop me a number on a scale from 1 to 10. Your confidence right now in this Houston Texan roster as it stands. My name is Ruben Calvillo, and this is the 713 Houston Sportcast, where I drop daily Houston Texans content. So make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest news, rumors, and updates. Now, one of the first moves done to try to fix the offensive line was the Houston Texans bringing in offensive guard Laken Tomlinson on a one-year deal worth $4 million. Here's what ESPN has to say. Tomlinson is as durable as they come. He's played 7 seasons in a row without missing a game. He'll be competing for the starter role with the Texans just trading former starter Kenyon Green. What's the risk? Tomlinson hasn't played up to the level of his 2021 Pro Bowl level the last 3 seasons. Last season, he allowed the 6th highest pressure rate among left guards, 9.1%, and allowed 11 sacks, according to Next Gen Stats. Well, hopefully, Laken Tomlinson goes back to his Pro Bowl form, but I think he is your new starting left guard for the Houston Texans, and I think your offensive line is going to be Titus Howard at left tackle, Laken Tomlinson at left guard, either Juice Scruggs or Jared Patterson at center. I have no clue who's going to be starting at right guard. And then at right tackle, it will be Blake Fisher entering year 2. I think that right now is the starting lineup. If I had to, fill the right guard spot, I would say Jared Patterson is your right guard and Juice Scruggs is your center. Another move the Houston Texans made, bringing back defensive tackle Mario Edwards Jr. Now, he is returning on a 2-year deal worth up to $9.5 million. What does this mean? Edwards is an effective run stopper, as he was tied for 3rd in run stuffs with 6 per Next Gen Stats. He provides good rotational depth at defensive tackle. The risk. The move is only risky if Edwards isn't impactful in his rotational reps. He's a key piece of to their rotation, so he'll be expected to live up to that standard. No, Mario Edwards Jr., I think, played at times very well for the Houston Texans until he got, I believe, suspended. I'm not sure for what. Let me know in the comments down below. But Mario Edwards was a bright spot on this Houston Texans defensive line, and he was one of your best defensive tackles in 2024. Happy to see him back. Happy to see him return on a 2-year deal. Some other moves the Houston Texans have made. They have brought back Tremon Smith, cornerback. Now, it is a 2-year contract worth up to $7.5 million. What does this mean? Smith's value is on special teams. He played 85% and 82% of the Broncos' special team snaps in the last 2 seasons, respectively. What's the risk? There isn't much of a risk since he plays on special teams and can provide depth at the cornerback spot. Tremont Smith was a Houston Texan a couple of years ago. I think had a nice INT against Kansas City or Dallas. I think it was one of the two. But it is a special teams move. Frank Ross, he's getting some demons back there. Another move. Nick Neiman, linebacker. He's coming over from the Los Angeles Rams on a 2-year deal worth up to $6.5 million. Neiman is mainly a special teams contributor as he only has 3 career starts at linebacker in his 4-year career. Through 4 seasons, he's played at least 65% of the Chargers' special team snaps. As you notice, the Houston Texans really have not made a lot of moves besides, these 1 to 2 year cheap options on some veterans, guys in their, late 20s, like Braxton Berrios. The Houston Texans are signing the former Miami receiver on a 1-year, $2 million deal. What does this mean? Berrios has 1,323 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in his career. He's mainly a depth piece who plays in the slot and has good return ability. He was an all-pro returner for the New York Jets in 2021. So if the Texans can get some of that all-pro return ability, it will bolster their special teams unit. What's the risk? He is coming off of a torn ACL. Another wide receiver the Houston Texans brought in, Justin Watson from the Kansas City Chiefs on a 1-year deal. He's had 1,322 receiving yards in 6 seasons and 9 touchdowns with the Kansas City Chiefs. And, I just think Justin Watson is going to be competing for that number 4, number 5 wide receiver spot. Another signing the Houston Texans have made, and this one I do like, and that is Darrell Taylor, defensive end. The Texans have agreed to terms with former Chicago Bears defensive end on a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million. Taylor has flashed the ability to sack quarterbacks after having a 9.5 sack season in his 2nd year. He hasn't reached over 6 since, but he only is heading into year 5, so the Texans add more capable depth. Low risk, high reward move for this defense and this defensive line. But right now, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. So outside of your 2 big moves of trading away Laramie Tunsil and trading for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the Houston Texans have been pretty cheap so far this free agency period, as expected. With that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts and comments down below. And for more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. Feel free to come back. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.